Today I'm just going to kind of do a quick run through the Mercury StarRunner. One of the Evo folks was kind enough to spawn one in Lorville, and I grabbed a ride with along with many other people you'll see in this video running around. And we're going to start in the residence area. So this habitation area is 2 bathrooms. It's got closets, like 3 of them, and 3 bed areas. I noticed there isn't like a captain's quarters in this. It seems like they're very equal. One of the nice things about this, you'll see in a moment, is you can switch the lights on and off. So, for example, if you lie down now, it's real light. And if you turn the lights off, obviously it's much better for sleeping. I think it would also be interesting to try it out for like a day-night cycle concept. Oh, and this is on the PTU on November 13, 2020. It is quite buggy, to say the least, right now on the PTU. And for getting in and out of beds, getting in and out of turrets. I did not get in a turret. Did not. It was not able to fly either, just because there were so many people trying to jump in the seat. So I simply explored the ship, grabbed it, threw it together. And the PTU is officially on version 3.11.what-PTU.6491541. If that is important to you. I suspect there are going to be a couple more PTU releases as we get closer and closer to the IAE Expo, which will be on the 20th. And just a reminder to folks, this will definitely be there on the Expo. So while I'm not for or against gray market discussions, I would highly recommend wait until the Expo. I guarantee there will be packs, there will be solos of this ship everywhere. So this is another example of those lights on and off. Once again, things are a little buggy, but I like the way it's going. The ship is extremely bright. It has white walls everywhere, very shiny metal surfaces. It looks like an Apple store. And I like the Crusader aesthetic. I'm not trying to say it negatively, but it can get a little much, especially if you were spending a long time on this ship. And that's what it's built for. The Mercury's concept was a blockade runner that was discreetly delivering small payloads of goods or data, and has smuggler holds, and it's meant to basically go long distances and have a crew of up to 3 who are hanging out. So being able to shut the lights off, be able to change the feel of the ship is kind of important. And if you look, like this area right here for recreation and food and everything else, it's fully stocked. It's built to, I guess, try to help prevent as much crew madness as possible. So the brochure says that it was catering to governments and private sectors alike. Crusader Industry StarRunner chassis raises the bar on speed and efficiency while remaining a stalwart of reliability. The Mercury ticks all the boxes expected of dependable courier vessels and then some. Whenever you're transporting, there's nothing safer or more secure than a Mercury. I would say that it does have quite a few size 3 guns from what I heard. I think 6 if you count all the turrets. I think size 2s in the chin, size 3s in the chin, 2 of them, and then 2 in each of the up and down turrets. So it's not the most equipped vessel. I'm just messing around here with the pilots. These new Nerf things are actually quite awesome. If you get your hands on one, they're pretty dang fun. So look at the visibility here in the cockpit. I would say that it's pretty good. It ain't no freelancer, that's for sure. So that kind of dovetails nicely into what its competition is. This thing is supposed to be like a competition for the colony, and it has, and to a lesser extent, the freelancer, which is a little bit smaller and less costly. But I would say that really the visibility is excellent. There's those chin size 3s firing off. Either the pilot's there firing it off. Forgive the glitching. I'm basically trying to give you as close as possible look of that, how it looks from there. You can see all the buttons are individually labeled and lit. I like the way the cockpit's actually set up, where you're side by side, unlike the Cutlass or the Lancer, where some people can tuck into the back, or the 600i, I think, is another example of a bit bigger ship, but kind of in the same category. Those lights on and off switches are in every single section. There's a weapons rack to the right I just passed by that has, looks like 4 spots. Sorry, I think it's further back. Yeah, there. To the left, there's a weapons rack that has 4 slots, it looks like. Now, to be fair, that might be something completely different, but it looks exactly like the kind I've seen on the Cutlass. So small arms is kind of thing, which makes sense if you're trying to defend from the cockpit. Straight ahead is your turrets, past that guy. So there's one up and one down. Like I said, as I understand it, don't quote me on this, the size 3s, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and then 2 on the chin, of course. And then these are the server racks. These are some of the coolest things in the whole ship. So there's 2 sets of server racks. There's an aisle on this side, and there's an aisle right behind me. Once again, you can kill the lights. I think I did right here. There you go. How's that for aesthetic? That's wallpaper worthy right there. My head's bobbing because of the ship is currently trying to land. You may be able to hear that. And it's just kind of maneuvering around. So this is the scanning room. It's kind of a large room for what it is. I'm curious to see how this will work out. And I think maybe it's more representative of just how important scanning is on this vessel and how powerful it is than its actual need to be this large. I think they could have put some type of storage back there, or maybe a little workshop or something like that. You'll see in a moment that the engineering section does not have any workshop. It's more of just an engineering room full of components, and then the cargo area, which is pretty good, actually. The cargo area is a decent size on this ship. But yeah, the scanning area, don't get me wrong, I love scanning. In fact, it feels a lot like the Terrapin's design, where you have like a swivel chair in the middle of a scanning area. That's actually an elevator that I jumped down. It seems to be that there is also that ladder behind it. I wasn't able to get the ladder to work, but I assume that the ladder will be functioning in the full ship. And once again, reminder, this is PTU. This just came hot out of testing, out of Evo. So PTU Wave 1, this will be changed. I suspect a lot of these glitches will be ironed out, and some of them we may have to live with for a bit, but it's great. It was great to see this ship in game. This engineering section, you can see how the components are easy access. The quantum drive right there, which is one of the most efficient quantum drives at the moment, as I understand it. Has a lot of endurance, but it's very slow. There's been some talk, I don't know how much this is true, but supposedly that this thing can make it almost across Pyro, based on just sheer distances. We'll have to see. So the idea with this ship is that it may be able to outlast it's people trying to chase it. So if they have to stop off to get gas halfway and you can keep going, then maybe just because this thing's slower, that's still okay. I think that's kind of interesting. Also, there's stealth builds right now that people are experimenting with, finding. They're quoting that they can get almost to like Prowler level stealth on this ship when they build it a certain way. The IR signature is actually okay-ish. The EM signature is very good. So you can see a rock got in there. Now I'm trying to maneuver a gray cat in. This is kind of not good. As, force reactions and server punishment happens with the ships shifting cargo, this would not be a good idea to do this, but I'm just messing around. We tried to start stacking in things. Unfortunately, a guy brought a Cyclone over. He didn't actually put it in. You'll see an Ursa Rover. And excuse the language in chat. But there's an Ursa Rover you'll see come in just a moment. It can fit an Ursa Rover. It can fit a rock. We could not get 2 rocks in. Unfortunately, I don't have video of that, but we tried. They're just too long, and the area's slightly too narrow. If you do that trick where I put the gray cat up on the side, you could theoretically put them in, but they're going to be bumping into each other like crazy. This ramp right here is kind of a death trap. I haven't seen anybody actually get killed yet in it, but it's bad. The control panel is over there on the right, and it's very fast ramp, which is good and bad. If somebody's trying to run up the shipjack, it's good to close. But people trying to maneuver, you gotta be very careful not to close it on your friends. So this Ursa River is going to try to get in. I'm going to show you the beginning of that. There's a lot of back and forth trying to get this rock back out, and not the fault of the ship. The guy tried to do like a U-turn inside the cargo area. He almost pulled it off, but eventually he just had to back it out, and it worked fine backing out. The cargo area is very reasonable for what it is, because it's how wide it is. So there you go. You can see the Ursa River ain't going to make it in with the rock and still inside. There's the Ursa River with the Gray Cat in. Unofficially, the Gray Cat's there. But if the ship was to, say, make a hard turn, and then that Gray Cat started slipping into the Ursa River, they may start damaging each other, so that's not good. So I decided to test out if the Gray Cat could fit. And somebody opened the ramp to the Ursa River, and it broke, and the Gray Cat touched it. So, well, as far as I can understand it, or maybe just owned by someone else, I'm not quite sure. But wasn't able to get that. But even with that door open, here's one of our guys. He got in with his heavy armor on. You can still see it closes. So you have an Ursa River and then some. And I would say that when armored suits are in the game, or if you were to, say, use a few bikes instead of the other systems, you could fit quite a lot of technology in there for all three people on board. And honestly, if it's a shorter run, you could probably fit 4 or 5 folks on board comfortably on this thing. Put them in the rec center, put them in the scanners, put them in each seats, and get it going. Well, that's my quick run through the Mercury StarRunner. I'm very appreciative. The fella named Innovations was kind enough to let us all run on this one out of Lorville, and I'll see you guys in the verse.